Okay, hi everybody. If you are viewing this video, it means that you have made it to 2018, and that is enough, I believe, to give God praise and thanks for you have life. And I pray that this year that you will be drawn closer to the Lord. You know, a lot of times people they set New Year's resolution, things that they want to accomplish, goals and aspiration. Or sometimes they may say, you know what, I don't want to carry forward these things in my life. I want to change my certain habits that I have. You know, I've spoken to some people and they said, you know what, I want to make better health choices. I want to change my diet. And so I want to address that. You know, because a lot of time, because we don't build on the right foundation, when the storm of discouragement comes, we crumble and we go right back into the same practices that we had before. And so I want to share at least 5 tips that you can use, that I have used, that has been a blessing to me, and so I want to share it with you. Now, tip number one, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Now, this is not a cliche, but honestly, as you go forward, you will need the strength of the Lord. You will need his word for encouragement. You will need his word to build upon. You must seek the Lord as to why. Why is God calling you to make better health choices? Why does he, want you to do these things? And as you learn from him, you will be encouraged. Because in my experiences, I remember I was a glutton. Yes, I was a glutton. Wherever food was, there I would be. I will always be eating. I'll go to a wedding, I'll be toting food. You know, I always have a mountain top of food. I love food. I love to eat. And even to the excess. People would laugh at me. And guess what? I will be laughing with them, laughing at myself. I couldn't see my true condition. And it's not until the Lord showed me that, listen, my eating and drinking habits was sinful. And if I had continued in that way, it would have affected my eternal salvation negatively. And I cried out to Lord. I said, Lord, please help me. He showed me in his word in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 38 about the account of Noah. He said, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be just before the coming of the Son of Man. Men will be eating and drinking. Nothing is wrong with eating and drinking, but men and women, even little children, will be eating to the excess, uncontrollably. You know, you can imagine people are in their deathbed, yet they still cannot control their eating and drinking habits. You know, he also showed me the account of Hosea chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. He says that as we see the increase of immorality and wickedness upon the earth, he says that the animals, the birds, the fishes, they become diseased, they will languish. And if we partake of flesh foods, we too will become diseased and languish with these animals. And I said, Lord, please help me. Lord, you need to help me because I am a slave to my appetite. I can't control myself. I need your help. And as I sought him, he started to give me strength within his word and his promises. I remember Philippians 2 and verse 13. He says that it is God who worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. And as I saw these promises, I became encouraged to go along this path. So number one, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Number two, be patient. A lot of times we want to go on this path because we want to lose weight, we want to look good. I mean, nothing is wrong with wanting these things, but that should not be the foundation principle as to why you're making these choices. We should want to do it because God has called us to do it. You know, and I said be patient because a lot of times people, they want it to lose weight. But because the weight does not come off in the time that they want to lose, they become discouraged. And people may come and say, well, I thought you eating good. I thought you eating fruits and vegetables and you still big, and you become discouraged. But no, you have to be patient with the Lord. He will bring the blessing to you. He will work in your body. Or you might be on the other side. You may see yourself losing that weight drastically, and to build back up that weight, it may be hard for you to do it. I remember that was my case. When I made that choice to change, I lost weight drastically. I had to deal with people mocking me, laughing, criticizing, calling me fanatic, saying I'm sick. I had to deal with rumors saying, and by, through following and being steadfast, I was able to regain the weight, and now I'm at my current correct body weight. Number three, make time to learn healthful recipes. If you want to give up something, you have to replace it. The account of Matthew chapter 12 and verse 43 to 45 tells us about a man who was cleansed of evil spirit. But because he did not fill back that place, The evil spirit came and find his house empty and find 7 more. And the state of him was worse than the first. If you want to give up something, you need to put it back with something else. So I go and I find recipes, I learn to make different things, and I see how I can substitute this. So for instance, if I go and I find a recipe, I see it has sugar or some other thing that is not helpful, I ask, how could I replace the sugar? I use dates, and I use honey, agave. If I see egg, I'll say, how could I replace the egg? I'll learn about flax egg. Try to replace it, because you don't want to go back. You need to fill that space back up so that the temptation will not be there to go back. All right. Number 4, your environment. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 22 tells us to abstain from all presence of evil. We want to put ourselves in places where we will not be tempted to go back. We want to guard our weak points. Even trying to associate yourself with people who would encourage you along that path and not discourage you. Alright? So you want to guard yourself. You understand? Don't play like you're no superhero. No. Don't say, well, I am able to go here. No. You want to make that choice to go on a better, on a healthier path. Guard yourself. Guard yourself from influences and places and people that will encourage you to go back. And number 5, the Bible tells us in Job chapter 41 and verse 24, his heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the neither millstone. Be firm for what you're standing for. If you say, I want to make this change because I want to follow God's principle, be firm. Do not compromise for friends and for family. Regardless of what they say or what they may do, they may mock you and laugh and try to ridicule you, try to encourage you to compromise. No, be firm. Stand firm, and by they will respect your choices. And as the Lord will bless you through your obedience, they will see the fruit and they will respect the decisions that you make. But at first it may be hard. They will try to get you to compromise, and they may mock you, but you need to stand firm for what you're doing, regardless, even if you have to stand alone. And as you do that, God will bring the increase. So I hope I could try these 5 tips. I hope you find it useful. All right. You may be somebody who may say, well, I have tried this path already and I failed. I'm not going back. No, don't give up. Go again. I didn't get it good right the first time either. But I went back and I cried out to the Lord and said, Lord, I need help. Tell the Lord your struggles and he will give you the victory. Believe his word. Believe his word. He tells us to ask and it shall be given. Ask him, say, Lord, I need the strength, and he will give it to you. Alright, so I hope that you try these principles, and all the best 2018. God bless. Bye bye.